Okay, so robots working nonstop out in the fields, crops that can like tell us when they need water, and no more food waste. That sounds kind of crazy, right? Like something out of a movie. But get this, AI is actually making all of that possible. It's the future of farming, and we're diving deep into it today. You sent us a really interesting article about this whole AI and agriculture thing. And well, we did a lot of digging. And
Mhm.
let me tell you, we've got some seriously cool stuff to share. Get ready to learn how AI is helping farmers like produce way more food,
Mhm.
use resources way more efficiently, and even, fight climate change.
Yeah, this isn't just about fancy tractors and stuff. We're talking about AI completely changing how we grow food, like every step of the way, from the second a seed goes in the ground to when it ends up on your plate.
Okay, so let's start with something called precision farming. The article talks about how AI can like analyze tons of data from satellites and drones
Hmm.
and even sensors right there in the dirt. So what does that actually look like on a farm?
It's basically like giving farmers X-ray vision for their fields. AI can tell them in real time how healthy their crops are, the condition of the soil, and even super specific weather patterns just for that farm.
Wow, so instead of, you know, treating a whole field the same way,
Hmm.
they can focus on the areas that actually need attention.
Exactly. Let's say one part of a field is stressed out. The AI can figure out, by looking at the data, if that area needs more water or maybe certain nutrients, then the farmer can give it exactly what it needs without wasting anything.
So that means better yields, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just about growing more food, it's about making sure we're using our resources wisely,
Yeah.
With the world population growing, doing things this way, this smart data-driven farming is going to be crucial.
Now, the article also mentioned how AI could automate a lot of those tough jobs that farmers have to do.
Yeah, things like planting and weeding and harvesting, these are really hard, time-consuming jobs. But AI-powered machines are changing all that. We're seeing robots that can like plant seeds with pinpoint accuracy, get rid of weeds all on their own, and even harvest crops super carefully.
So does that mean farming will need like fewer people?
It's definitely changing things up. Farmers will always be super important, but their jobs will change. Instead of being out in the fields doing manual labor, they can focus on managing the AI systems, making big decisions based on the data, and making sure everything runs smoothly.
That makes sense. And that brings us to something really cool, something the article called predictive analytics. It's about how AI can actually predict things like crop yields, market trends, and even like pest outbreaks.
That's right. So imagine you're a farmer and you want to know how much you'll get from your crop. AI can look at like the history of your farm, the current weather, what the soil sensors are saying, and even satellite pictures and give you a really good prediction.
Wow, they'd be so helpful for planning, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it takes away a lot the guesswork.
Okay.
For example, if the AI says a certain crop might not do well because of the weather, the farmer can, change things up. Maybe they plant a different crop or invest more in irrigation. Either way, they're using data to make better decisions.
That's like having a crystal ball that shows you problems before they happen.
Kinda, yeah. And it goes beyond just the yields. AI can even predict market trends, telling farmers which crops will be in high demand.
That sounds amazing, especially for smaller farms.
It could definitely level the playing field, yeah. Giving every farmer access to that kind of information would make the whole system more fair and resilient.
We've been talking about like all these awesome benefits of AI and farming, and it really seems like it's going to change everything. But the article also mentioned that AI can, um, help make farming more sustainable. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest things we're facing in agriculture today is, well, how to grow enough food for everyone while also taking care of the planet. And AI can really help us do that.
So, how does AI actually make things more sustainable on a farm?
Let's start with soil. Like, healthy soil is the foundation of good farming, right? AI can look at the data from soil sensors and give farmers a really detailed picture of what's going on down there.
Oh, so that they can make sure the soil is healthy and keeps producing for like a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And AI can even suggest specific things to do to improve the soil.
Ugh.
Things like planting cover crops.
Cover crops, what are those?
So, cover crops are plants that you grow not to harvest, but to help the soil. Things like clover or rye, they stop erosion, add nutrients back into the soil, and even help with weeds. AI can actually figure out which cover crops would work best on a specific farm.
That's really cool. So AI isn't just about making more food, it's about making the whole system healthier.
It's about thinking holistically. And AI can also help us use less water, which is a big deal in a lot of places. Sensors can track how much moisture is in the soil, and AI can figure out exactly how much water each plant needs.
So no more wasting water by, just spraying the whole field.
Exactly. And that kind of precision is super important, especially with climate change, making weather patterns weirder.
Speaking of climate change, the article mentioned that AI can help farmers adapt to that too.
Oh, yeah. AI is becoming like a key tool for climate smart agriculture. For example, it can use weather data to predict droughts and floods so farmers have time to get ready.
That way they can protect their crops, right?
Exactly. And it's not just about reacting to climate change either. AI can also help farmers do things that actually help the environment, like, it can analyze how much fertilizer they're using and suggest ways to use it more efficiently.
So less runoff and less impact on the environment.
Right. It's about finding that balance between, growing enough food and being responsible for the land.
Hmm.
And there's one more area where AI can have a big impact, getting the food from the farm to your table.
Right, the article talked about that, like smart supply chains and stuff.
Yeah. This is a place where AI is already making a big difference. A lot of food gets wasted between the farm and the grocery store because of spoilage or bad transportation or just bad planning. But AI can help make the whole system work better.
Like it can figure out better routes for trucks and better ways to store food.
Exactly. AI can use data about weather, traffic, and temperatures to figure out the best way to move food around. And that's super important for things like fruits and veggies that go bad quickly.
So less food waste and like fresher food at the store.
That's the goal. And less waste also means better food security. Making sure everyone has access to good food. And as the world's population keeps growing, that's going to be more and more important.
So we've talked about how AI can help farmers make better decisions,
Yeah.
get rid of some of the hard labor, be better for the environment, and even get food to us more efficiently. It seems like AI is going to be like essential for feeding the world in the future. But the article also mentioned that not everyone's happy about this technology.
You're right. There are some concerns, and we should talk about them. Change can be hard, especially in agriculture. It's a very traditional way of life.
So what are people worried about when it comes to AI in agriculture?
One big worry is what'll happen to small farms. Will they be able to afford all this new technology? Could they get left behind as everything becomes more high tech?
That makes sense. We talk about how AI can make things more fair, but it could also create a new kind of divide, right?
Absolutely. And that's why we have to make sure this technology is available to everyone, not just the big farms. We need programs to help small farms adopt AI so they can benefit too.
So it's about making sure the technology helps everyone, not just a few.
Yeah, that's how we make sure the transition to this new AI powered food system is fair.
Now, another thing people worry about with AI is like jobs disappearing. Is that something we need to think about in agriculture too?
It's a good question. As AI gets better at doing more things, there's a chance that some of the jobs on farms will be done by machines.
So while AI can help with the labor shortage,
Yeah.
it could also create problems for the people who might lose their jobs.
That's right. And that's why it's so important to think about how we can help those workers, maybe with retraining programs and new opportunities, so they can still be part of this new system.
So it's not just about building cool technology, it's
Uh,
about making sure that everyone benefits from it.
Exactly. And that brings up another point. We need to be open about how this technology is being developed so people can trust it.
What do you mean?
Well, AI uses a lot of data, right? And farmers need to know that their data is being used responsibly. They need to understand how the AI is working, what data is being collected, and who can see it.
So it's about building trust and giving farmers control over how AI is used on their farms.
Definitely. And it's also about making sure that the values of, the farming community are reflected in how AI is being developed. We need to be talking about the ethics of all of this.
Mm.
And everyone needs to have a say in what the future looks like.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like we need to be having, more conversations about this whole thing. Like farmers, tech people, policymakers, everyone working together to make sure AI is used the right way. But, thinking about all of this, I can't help but wonder what the future of farming actually looks like with all this AI.
Well, I think it's a future where farmers have access to so much information, and all these tools to help them make better decisions, use resources wisely, and deal with climate change. Imagine a farmer, starting their day by looking at a screen that shows them everything, like how much moisture is in the soil, real-time weather updates, even alerts about bugs and
Oh,
diseases.
wow. So they can stop problems before they even start.
Exactly. And that same screen could even tell them, like, the best time to plant or water based on, super specific conditions and predictions from the AI.
Nah.
Then they could like use their phone to control tractors or drones that are already out in the field doing all kinds of work and collecting data.
So it's more about managing these AI systems than, doing everything manually.
Yeah, kind of like being the conductor of an orchestra. The farmer is in charge, but they have AI to help them coordinate everything.
Okay, that makes sense. What about, like, for us, the people buying the food? How will AI and agriculture change what we eat and how we get it?
Well, you can probably expect to see fresher, better produce all year round. AI is going to help us grow food more efficiently,
Hmm.
so there's less waste and less impact on the environment, and who knows, maybe even lower prices.
So everyone wins.
That's the hope. But we can't forget about all the things we talked about, the ethics, the challenges, and making sure everyone benefits.
Right. It's not just about what we can do, but what we should do. We need to use this technology to create a food system that's good for everyone.
Exactly. And those are the kinds of conversations we need to keep having. We need to keep learning about this and working together to make sure AI is used the right way.
Well said. Well, I think that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive. We've learned a lot about the potential of AI in agriculture, but also about the challenges and the ethical questions. It's clear that AI is going to change how we grow food, and it's up to all of us to make sure it's a change for the better.
I agree. The future of farming is really in our hands. Let's work together to make it a good one.
I love that. And to our listeners, the next time you sit down to eat, think about the incredible journey your food has taken to get to your plate. AI might play a big role in that journey in the future, making it more efficient, sustainable, and fair for everyone. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the future of farming.